Hey everyone, welcome to the Following Jesus 5-minute devotional. I'm Samuel Deuth, and let me jump into this. You're going to love this out of Isaiah chapter 36. I believe this is going to encourage you, give you confidence. How do we stay confident? How do we stay full of faith when we're confronted with adversity, when we're confronted with people trying to attack us, maybe even difficult situations? And I love this. Hezekiah is rebuilding. Hezekiah is getting taunted by the enemy. It says this: the field commander said to them, "Tell Hezekiah, this is what the king, the great king of Assyria says. On what are you basing this confidence of yours?" On what are you basing this confidence? I wanted to remind you, one of the strategies of the enemies is to genuinely, sarcastically confront you with stuff. That might sound funny or random, but the reality is the enemy knows that none of us as humans want to feel like stupid, right? We never want to feel like we're believing a lie, or we never want to feel like we've gotten taken advantage of. So in this situation, the king of Assyria is trying to get Hezekiah to stop the work, trying to get Hezekiah to think that he could be easily taken over by the king of Assyria, because the king of Assyria at the time was the superpower. And so he's saying, "Hey, I'm going to destroy you guys." Hezekiah is saying, "God's with us, don't be afraid." And the representative of the king of Assyria is starting to mock Hezekiah, mock the people, to go like, what could you possibly be basing your confidence on? Like, do you actually think, you know what I mean? Do you really believe that your God could stop the king of Assyria from taking you out, right? And so part of the tactic that he's using is this kind of mockery of God. It's the same thing the devil used in the garden when he said to Adam, or said to Eve, when Eve says, when Eve said, God said that we'll die when we eat the fruit, and the devil says, "Oh, you're not going to die. God knows you're actually going to be like him," right? He starts using this sarcastic mockery. And even in the culture we live in today, you're a follower of Jesus, and someone might come at you and go like, "Man, do you actually, how could you possibly believe that? What are you thinking? Don't you know," right? And start using language that gets you on the defensive if you're not careful, assuming that, wow, because somebody confidently and boldly said, "What are you basing your confidence on?" Well, we're basing our confidence on the track record of thousands of years, on the whole history, not only of God's word, but of human history, of God being faithful to his people. Hezekiah continues to push back against this and to rally the people to say, listen, don't allow him to get you distracted. Don't allow him to get your eyes off of what God has done. Our life circumstances, difficulty, can tend to get you and me starting to wonder, man, how could I possibly trust God right now when the circumstances look difficult, when the situation that I'm facing seems to be attacking me and attacking God and his ability to take care of me. But the reality is that you have to understand that even when I'm faced with difficult times, when I'm faced with circumstances that don't seem like they're going to work, I have to remain confident. How do I remain confident? How do I stay in faith and trust in God? I have to keep going back to his word. I have to keep going back to his promises. I have to keep trusting God. I know for me and my wife and my family, we've had great promises from God. God has said so many great things to us and given us his promises of favor and protection and all of that kind of stuff. And when we've gone through difficult seasons, when we've gone through seasons of our life where we're not sure if we're going to be able to, make this happen or see this through, we've just stayed true. We've come back to the promises of God and said, okay, God, you said it. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust your word. And when we do that, as we've stayed faithful and stayed true to the promises of God, we've seen God provide over and over and over again. So come on, yes. Trust God, stay faithful, watch God do the impossible. Love you guys. God bless you. Praying for you. Have an amazing, amazing day.